Hello everyone, it's time for another episode of Mike's Hydro Garden. This is episode number 5, and I just thought I'd do a little update today and talk about how things are growing. So as you might recall, things started a little bit shaky. I think that the perlite probably had some junk in it, and it was keeping it from really doing all it should, and even now it's probably not all it could be. But I looked up the date, and it has been 14 days since my last video, so I thought I'd look back in on this tomato plant right here. And this little indicator was the top of the plant 2 weeks ago, and you can see now that we are from here all the way up to here. I'll back up a little bit. It is that one right there. So we're at about 16 to 18 inches of growth in 2 weeks. And we have little baby tomatoes coming out all over the place. Those are, I don't know, they're red cherry tomatoes of the sweet, let's see, I have it right here. According to this, they are super sweet 100s. So that'll be fun and tasty. So the peppers are starting to look good, but the leaves are still not all they could be. But you know what? I have found that peppers are just kind of late bloomers. You know, if I start them in April, they just don't do really well until it gets really warm out, which here in Texas, it's starting to do so. So here are some other tomato plants. And this is another one of those sweet 100s, super sweet 100s. And you can see I have a huge sucker here that I've let go. And I'm going to have to snap that one off there. Down here we have the Romas. You can see I've had to make some pretty aggressive trimming of suckers that the things are growing so fast I can hardly keep up. These are Romas right here. So just for comparison's sake, there's the size of my finger. So they're going to get a little bit bigger. Here is the eggplant. And I don't know, we got something chewing away on it. I think they are aphids. In fact, there is one right there. You can see it maybe right under my finger, right there. And what I really need are some ladybugs. I haven't seen any this season. I actually may have to go buy some in order to get these aphids under control. Here's some Romas that are doing really well. Probably not even 2 weeks on those, and we'll have some tomatoes to eat. And let's see, we'll scroll over here, whatever. So it's kind of fun to compare that guy there. That is an eggplant. You can see that he's about 18 inches tall, and that is growing the cucumber formula. And this one is a little bit more. That's about 20, maybe a little bit more. So it looks like the eggplants may like the tomato formula a little bit better. Here is a pretty purple eggplant flower with yellow inside. Kind of fun. Again, the peppers over here just aren't quite doing what they need to yet. But I don't know. I'm not going to give up on them yet. Cucumbers are growing like crazy. Let's see, this is the tallest plant right now, so let's count. We have one. Nothing there. There's 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cucumbers on that one plant. And it is only about 3 feet tall. It still has 5 feet to go. So those are slicers. What are they? They are burpless hybrids, because we don't need burping, do we? Anyways, so the cucumbers seem to be doing okay. They kind of got a rough start as well. They really didn't like being transplanted. We've talked about that before. Over here we have the cantaloupe. Can tell they have more of a round leaf. If you look at the cucumbers, they have kind of a heart-shaped leaf. The cantaloupe have more of a round leaf, and you can see all the flowers here in this one plant. And it looks like they are really enjoying the hydroponic mix, this cucumber hydroponic mix. And it's really fun to see some of them. Let's see if I have any good examples here. Not so much right now. Some of them are doing a good job, and the tendrils are jumping up, and they're... Here's one right here. Look at that. I love these cucumber plants. Decide, I'm just going to do what I need to do. If you're listening, you just must be 7 o'clock, and all the hydroponics just kicked on. How fun is that? But I love to see when the tendrils go up, and they're doing their job. They don't even need the clips. So, but speaking about liking the cucumber formula, oh my goodness, look at these squash. The plants are just going like crazy, and they're keeping nice and vertical, as you can see. I'm going to have to find a good way to tie them onto there. But I have squash. Here's some zucchini going over here. And some of them, I kind of did an experiment. The whole thing is kind of a big experiment, but this zucchini is in here all by himself in a bucket. But in a couple of them down here, I left 2 plants in one bucket just to see how they do. It's a little contention for leaf space. And there's 2 in that one as well. I think they would probably do their best if they were just 1 plant per. But we'll see how it goes. Regardless, we're going to get a lot of zucchini, and I think it's straight neck squash there out of those. So overall, for the effort that I put in so far, I think I'm pretty happy with it for this year. So let's go over to the blackberries. As you recall, our blackberries in theory look great, but I don't have any... the squirrels are just tearing stuff up. What happens is they climb up here, and then they end up putting all their weight on these branches as they try and get blackberries off, and they end up breaking the stems, like this one right here. It's kind of sad. So, I don't know. I don't really have an answer for it. And look at that. That's a pretty good sized blackberry right there. And you probably know this, but if not, you can tell they're ripe when you just tug on them a little bit and they just fall off in your fingers like that. If you pull them too early, they will be bitter, but still okay. So that is about it. I really need to get the blackberries under control here and get them all trellised up so that next year we can have a huge harvest. So the peaches, let's look at the peaches real quick. This is nectarine over here, and here we have a couple that the squirrels haven't found yet. It's just a matter of time because they usually, nectarines for some reason are the first to go. They love them. Here's some baby peaches. And we'll go up to this peach tree, and it is going like crazy with all the rain that we've had. This thing needs a serious haircut soon. So I thought I saw some peaches on here, but it's really close to the fence. And if it's close to the fence, it's close to the squirrels. Oh, here's a couple. So you can see they're just enormous. Not really, they're really not enormous. So that is the peaches. We have about maybe 15 or 20 that the squirrels haven't gotten yet, and I'm pretty confident that they will all be gone. I wish I had a good answer on them, but I don't. So anyways, there's the birds trying to get in there and eat the flies that are on my tomatoes. So that's a good thing. So I want to talk about that for a second. One thing I've done in the past, I'm going to pan back here. You can see I have this big kind of canopy over the top made out of conduit. And it works out really well. And I have netting that goes from the bottom side down here, up over the top to that far one, and then back down the other side. And then I just have to put a a panel on this side and a panel on that side. And once I do that, then the birds can't get in there and poke holes in my tomatoes. However, the stink bugs or squash beetles, whatever you want to call them, they will get in there and just destroy my cucumber plants. What they do is they will go in here, like right here on the stem, and they'll put a little bite in there, inject some stuff into it, and the plant will pretty much die from that point up. And but what I found is if I don't put the netting up, then the birds come in and they eat the squash beetles. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. Do you want tomatoes or do you want cucumbers? So I don't know. It may not be as bad this year because the birds usually don't get in and get after these little tomatoes because there's really nothing that they can sit on. Though something, look at that, you can see right here, there's a bunch of tomatoes that have been picked off. So I don't know what that is. Maybe squirrels have acquired a taste for tomatoes now. But before we get done here, we're going to have more tomatoes than we know what to do with. So anyways, I think that's about it for tonight. It's a beautiful evening in East Texas with the sun peeking through. I just hope that you guys have a great rest of your week. And I hope that you guys all stay safe out there and maybe find some way to get to a virtual church service or in-person church service, whatever, this weekend, because it'll help you get through these rough times. Thanks all.